At 22, Amina stood at the crowded bus station in Nairobi with one small suitcase, a worn Bible from her mother, and a promise in her heart. "I will change this family forever," she whispered to herself. Her father had hugged her tightly before she left for the city. "You are the hope of this house," he said proudly. Those words became both her motivation and her burden. Amina came from a poor village where dreams were often buried before they could grow. Her father had once been strong, but sickness had weakened him. Her mother sold vegetables by the roadside. Her younger brother struggled through school with torn uniforms and empty stomachs. So when Amina got a job as a cashier in Nairobi, the entire family celebrated as though they had won the lottery. For the first time in years, hope entered their home. The salary was small, but to her family, it looked like wealth. The first month, Amina sent almost everything home. Her mother called her crying. "We bought food today," she said. "Your brothers will return to school next week." Amina smiled through tears as she sat alone in her tiny rented room with leaking walls and a broken window. She slept on a thin mattress on the floor, but she felt rich because her family was eating. Months turned into years. Every payday followed the same routine: rent, bus fare, 1 meal a day. Then every remaining shilling went home. Her brother's school fees, his medication, roof repairs, funeral contributions, wedding expenses for relatives she barely knew. Whenever she tried to save something for herself, another emergency appeared. And every time, she sacrificed again. Her friends at work often questioned her. "Amina, when will you start building your own life?" one colleague asked. She laughed softly. "My family is my life." While others bought phones, clothes, and furniture, Amina repeated the same 2 dresses for years. She skipped lunch to send extra money home. She walked long distances to avoid transport costs. Yet whenever she visited the village during Christmas, everyone praised her. "Our daughter from Nairobi. She is the pillar of this family. She is blessed." The words filled her heart with pride. But slowly, something dangerous was growing beneath the praise. Entitlement. Her family stopped seeing her sacrifices. They started seeing obligations. When Amina delayed sending money by even 1 day, angry calls followed immediately. "What happened? Why are you late? Your brother needs shoes. The landlord is waiting. Don't embarrass us." Nobody asked whether she was okay. Nobody asked whether she had eaten. Nobody noticed the dark circles under her eyes. Nobody cared that she worked double shifts while battling migraines and exhaustion. To them, she had become a machine, a money machine. One rainy evening after work, Amina collapsed on the road from fatigue. Strangers rushed her to a small clinic where the doctor warned her seriously. "You are stressed, malnourished, and overworked," he said. "If you continue like this, your body will eventually shut down." That night, lying alone in her room, Amina cried for hours, not because of the pain, but because she realized she had spent years saving everyone except herself. Still, the next morning, she woke up and continued. Years passed. 8 long years. Her youngest brother graduated from university. Her sister got married. Her parents moved into a newly renovated house with electricity and water. Neighbors admired the family's transformation. "What a blessed family," they said, but nobody knew the real price. Amina was now 30 years old, still unmarried, still renting a tiny room, still owning almost nothing. Her savings account barely existed. One day, her company downsized unexpectedly. Employees were called one by one into the manager's office. When Amina heard her name, her stomach tightened. She walked in nervously. The manager sighed heavily. "We're sorry. Your position has been terminated." Her world froze. After 8 years of sacrifice, she suddenly had no income. That evening, she called home with trembling hands. There was silence after she explained everything. Then her father spoke coldly. "So what are we supposed to do now?" Amina blinked in shock. Not, "How are you feeling?" Not, "Come home and rest." Only disappointment. For the first time, she felt like a stranger to the people she had sacrificed everything for. She searched desperately for another job. But months passed without success. Her savings disappeared quickly. Rent became impossible. Finally, ashamed and exhausted, she decided to return to the village temporarily. As the bus approached home, Amina imagined rest, comfort, and support. After all, she had carried this family for nearly a decade. Surely now they would carry her too. But when she arrived, the atmosphere felt strange. Cold, unwelcoming. Her mother barely hugged her. Her brothers avoided eye contact. At dinner, conversations stopped whenever she spoke. 2 days later, Amina overheard her older brother whispering angrily. She came back to become a burden. Another voice replied, she should return to Nairobi and figure things out. Her chest tightened painfully. That night, she cried silently under the blanket. Then came the final blow. One afternoon, Amina suggested starting a small business using part of the family land she had helped preserve for years. Her father's face hardened immediately. "This land belongs to the family," he said sharply. Amina stared at him in confusion. "I know," she replied softly. "I am family." Silence filled the room. Then her brother spoke words that shattered her heart forever. "You left this village years ago. Don't come back now expecting ownership." Amina could barely breathe. Ownership? Expectation? After everything she had done? The next morning, she found her suitcase placed outside the door. Locked out. Locked out of the very home she had spent 8 years sustaining. Neighbors watched silently as she stood there in disbelief. Rain began falling slowly. Her mother looked through the window, but never opened the door. At that moment, something inside Amina broke completely. Not because she lost a home, but because she realized she had mistaken sacrifice for security. She walked away, carrying the same suitcase she had left with years earlier. Except now, her heart was heavier. For weeks, Amina struggled emotionally. Betrayal consumed her thoughts. Anger poisoned her sleep. How could they do this to me? The question repeated endlessly in her mind. One evening, while sitting alone at a church compound where she had been temporarily sheltered, an elderly woman approached her. The woman had noticed her sadness for days. "You carry deep pain," the woman said gently. Amina finally broke down and told her everything. The old woman listened quietly. Then she said something Amina would never forget. "Never set yourself on fire to keep others warm." Amina looked up slowly. The woman continued, "Helping family is good. Sacrifice is honorable. But when you abandon yourself completely, people eventually stop valuing your pain. Some will even punish you when you can no longer provide." Those words pierced deeply. For the first time, Amina understood the lesson life had been trying to teach her. Love without boundaries becomes self-destruction. From that day forward, Amina decided her story would not end in bitterness.
She began rebuilding slowly. She found work at a small grocery store. The salary was modest, but this time, things were different. She opened a savings account. She enrolled in evening business classes. She rented a clean room and furnished it little by little. For the first time in years, she bought clothes for herself. She rested. She healed. She learned to say no without guilt. Months later, one of her brothers called, asking for money urgently. Amina listened calmly. Then she replied gently, "I cannot help right now." There was silence. In the past, fear and guilt would have controlled her.
But now she understood something powerful. Being kind does not mean destroying yourself. Years later, Amina opened her own successful mini market. She employed several young women from struggling backgrounds and taught them financial wisdom. Whenever they received their first salaries, she told them carefully, "Help your family." Then she would smile sadly and add, "Because the same people you rescue today may not rescue you tomorrow." Amina eventually forgave her family, but she never returned to living for their approval. She had learned the hardest lesson of adulthood. Some people love your sacrifices more than they love you. And sometimes, the greatest act of self-respect is learning when to stop bleeding for people who would never bandage your wounds. So if you are constantly sacrificing yourself for everyone around you, remember this. You cannot pour from an empty cup. Take care of your family, but take care of yourself too. Because a day may come when you need the very love, support, and protection you spent years giving away. And if you have neglected yourself completely, you may find there is nothing left to save.